Welcome back, vintage gamers, to an off-stream recording. We started brewing this deck on Saturday during the Vintage Challenge when we had a buy, but Twitch Chat and I put together an interesting version of some kind of mud slash white splash Tezzeret artifact prison deck, I guess. It's kind of a toolbox deck that is likely going to win most of the time by tutoring up Time Vault and taking infinite turns with either Key or Tezzeret. To do that, we have a bunch of Oswald Fiddlebenders, which is your birthing pod for artifacts. I think when you kind of play this style and you're not choosing to play blue for Force of Will, you need to pick a path on some kind of interaction. And so here we're going to try out Void Mirrors and Tangle Wires. Feels a little bit weird because obviously our deck is very much not paying colored mana for spells, but as long as you're on the play and deploy your Moxen before you deploy your Void Mirror, you'll be able to play colored mana for spells through the Void Mirror, no problem. And it's going to give you like very strong mirror breaking technology against these Raker decks and all the Tezzeret decks that are running around right now. So yeah, we have a nice little toolbox here. Got the Expedition map, main deck Cage, Duskro's Reliquary that helps us take out problem permanents. I do even have a Null Rod in our deck, so if it's ever going to be better for us to just lock the opponent down and stall out the game, then we can use this Null Rod. I do have a Crucible of Worlds here to establish different kind of wasteland loops, along with a Smokestack could be pretty interesting, being able to go up from Tangle Wire into Smokestack. We also have a nice Clown Car, which can work pretty well with Tezzeret because when it enters as an X spell, you're making some number of robot tokens, and each robot token enters and gives Tezzeret some more loyalty. And it also, going to work pretty well with Smokestack, getting rid of little 1/1 counter, little 1/1 robots. Sideboard, we got a bunch of different hate pieces that are one-ofs, but also a pile of flutes for combo, and a pile of Masterforce clown cars and serpents to bring in as a kind of aggro pivot plan. So it was actually testing decently well in between rounds of last week's challenge, so I was interested to see how this goes in today's Vintage League. I'll see you in round one. I'll be a special guest at the Steel City Spectacular August 14th through 17th in Pittsburgh. This CEDH main event will also feature a Legacy Battle for Duels and a Vintage Battle for a Black Lotus. 15 proxy Vintage with a Black Lotus as the main prize. I hope to see you at these amazing Eternal Magic the Gathering events. Let's battle. All right, let's give it a go here in round one of our Oswald Tezzeret League. I've got a Talon Gates to help me make colored mana through a Void Mirror, but I am up against Lurrus, so we'll have to see. This isn't a great hand, but it's not the worst. This is one of the problems with playing a toolbox deck, is sometimes your tools will be in your opening hand, and you won't be able to tutor for them. Hopefully we're not getting Ancestraled here. Not Ancestraled. Yeah, I think it's Ancient Tomb Void Mirror, and see how that plays. Could just get Spell Pierced, obviously, but not the worst thing to get Spell Pierced. Got a Force out of their hand. It's pretty good. Obviously, Void Mirror makes forces turned off. Mental Misstep. Okay. Usually pretty bad against decks that have Ancient Tomb Void Mirror. Caracas. So I'm thinking more of a controlling deck. Maybe just Lavinia. Yeah. Lavinia is going to mean I can't play any of my 3-drops ahead of curve, which is certainly not great for me. But I can just jam a 5-mana Clown Car. I think I'm going to do that. See what this produces. Oh, I can't? Is that how this works? Each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with mana value greater than the number of lands you control. So I can only cast a 2/2 Clown Car through a Lavinia? Interesting. I would think it wouldn't have a mana value 4. So I guess next turn I can phase out this Lavinia and work from there. So I will just deploy this, I guess. That was really weird. Sorry. I guess it makes sense. I got wastelanded. Okay, well. Interesting they hit the Ancient Tomb. Maybe they're playing around Raker. I'm going to phase out this Lavinia. And then what do I want to do? I think I just wanted to play a clown car. Getting wastelanded with Lavinia in play, though, is definitely bad. I was pretty worried about Wasteland when in the last turn, but looks like they wanted to play Lavinia first. All right, this is not bad. A 1/1 counter on my clown car and 3 1/1s. Certainly clogs the board up a little bit. I can't use Lurrus with Cage in play, which is nice. Opponent has 3 cards in their hand. I think as long as we continue to hit land drops, which shouldn't be too bad because our deck has got 19 land drops in it, we should be in a decent spot, though. Maybe I have to needle that Urza Saga. By Lurrus, maybe. Looks like it, yeah. No real attack from our opponent here. So land drops are our best draws by a lot. Wasteland is a good one. Plains is pretty good as well. So now I can go. I can go Needle. Use that on Urza Saga. I don't think I want to use it on Caracas. And then I'll go Tangle Wire. Better than Trinisphere? Looks like it. All right, obviously we're really far away from casting Karn. We need a land and some way to get more mana. I guess an Ancient Tomb would do it. But we did just tap our opponent down for a turn. Maybe we didn't need a Needle then. I guess we were double covered. Tundra. I would want to first fade, and then I will tap. I've got 3 artifacts that I don't care about tapping. Void Mirror. Yeah, I guess that's acceptable right now. So let's do Void Mirror. And then Trinisphere. Can't do it the other way around, so. Alright. I got my white mana off of Plains. And then I guess we will. Oh, Crewing 2 doesn't actually do anything. So I guess I just want to attack for 3. I'm a little worried my opponent might be on Stifle Knot. In which case they could tap things here, play a dress down, and then search up a 12/12. I guess they can't because of Trinisphere. Never mind. All right, Jet. They can definitely play a Lurrus here, though. Oh, a Frog for 3. Yeah, it's pretty good. Definitely need... I could turn off my Trinisphere if I wanted to. Don't really need to do that. Ancient Tomb for Karn, maybe? Mana Vault. Okay. I need to make sure I use my white mana here. So if I draw a land, I'll be able to play Karn, and I can get like a Stone Coil Serpent or something. That would be pretty good. Alright, so my wire continues to fade away. I can Disruptor Flute the Frog. I could get a Masticore. I could get a Stone Coil. I could get another Clown Car. I could get a Portable Hole. I have to hit a land, though, to play the Karn through the Lavinia, so... Lots of options. It's kind of the fun part about playing these decks. Theoretically, our opponent might just like tap out for Lurrus, and we'll be good to go. All right, they're going to fly in to get a card. Makes sense. Not a huge deal. Trinisphere and Void Mirror don't exactly work super well together. My opponent could now pay 3 mana for a Force. Second Frog. Right. So I like the idea of Disruptor Flute on Frog right now. So I just need to hit a land drop, and I can definitely resolve my Karn. Although I might not have enough colored mana to play 2 spells. I drew a Soul Ring. It's really bad for me here. It's super bad for me here. I wonder if I could play like an engineered explosives. That'd be kind of interesting as well. Because my opponent is going to be able to attack with both frogs, and I just have to chump them both, which is really bad. And at some point now, my opponent can just hold open force because I have Void Mirror Trinisphere. Yeah, I made some mistakes here. I don't know. I need a land. If I hit a land on either of those two draws. Oh, not either of the two draw steps because I did need one of these cards to play the card. All right, they're just gonna hold up counter magic at this point. Makes sense. Yeah, now I think we're really doomed. Kind of needed to hit that draw on that exact turn. Mystic Forge, another thing I can't play through this Lavinia. All right, I think that might be the end of the game. Though at least I have double payoff. As a Bowmaster, kill my robot token, I assume. Oh, just swords my robot token. Yeah, that does it. Okay. Very unfortunate. I feel like we were so close to pulling away, but the one Wasteland was enough. Typically is. Wasteland's a pretty broken magic card. Now they just draw a million. Maybe that we can get them to like tap low. Doesn't look like that. All right. So if I can draw my fourth land, I have two payoff spells. They can only counter one of them, hopefully. All right, drew an Urza Saga. So I think I'd rather have Forge Resolve than Karn. So let's go Mana Vault, white mana, Karn. Maybe not, because I actually don't have a lot of spells per turn. Yeah, because I think I might die on the... I don't know. I think all of these are dead, because I can't play 3 spells in the same turn. I can obviously use my Talon Gates to make white mana to play through the Void Mirror, but... it just resolves. Massacre is not going to do it because my opponent can just hop both frogs and fly, probably. Probably it has to kind of be a Massacre, though. I guess that doesn't really work very well because I have to throw my Forge. I mean, it can be a Stone Coil Serpent. I guess it can be a Stone Coil Serpent. They should have to have no removal, no counter spells. I think a Stone Coil Serpent is better than playing a Portable Hole. Yeah, it's just really bad for me. All right. Yeah, they just have another Swords. I guess the good news there is I don't die. But they're going to draw another 2 cards and kill my Karn. Maybe they're just going to put my Karn to 1. Oh, they're going to kill my Karn and draw 2. Yeah, I can't think we can come back. It's just too much card advantage. I guess if I had an uncapped Mystic Forge with no Trinisphere, maybe. But then I have still the Void Mirror, so... yeah, they have so many cards. Okay, I got Wastelanded on my Saga as well. About ready to scoop this one up. I guess they could technically hit my Talon Gates. They don't care about constructs. Because they have frogs. Can't really stop these frogs now that my Karn is dead, though. They're just not going to Wasteland me. Interesting. Okay. I will cast Mystic Forge. Oh, I guess my Grafdigger's Cage stops my Mystic Forge. How many people in chat were in chat were saying this? Oh yeah, that's not a combination, those two. Though I have stopped them from ever using Lurrus, so they ended up pitching Lurrus to Forge. Yeah, this is complete bait because I have a Grafdigger's Cage in play. This actually came up recently in a tournament when a Raker player had this combo together. Looks like I got a full force out of it, so. I'm gonna just hold the strip mine because I'm gonna lose lands. Yeah, I'm dead here. I should just concede. It's not even like I'm close to getting Time Vault Key. My opponent did not see the Grafdigger's Cage non-bow, so. Oh, I also have a Needle on Saga. Okay. Get me out. Yeah, so I am stopping all of my own magic cards there. I didn't want to Needle Wasteland because I thought Wasteland was more likely for us to have, but then we do the Saga. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, what are we gonna do here? Clown Car, Serpent, and Masticore? Doesn't feel good. Surely does not feel good, but Needle is not very good. I don't actually think Cage is good here. I don't really think Void Mirror is very good here. Neither is Null Rod. I think we just play a bunch more threats. I feel like that's a better approach for what we have going on here. I guess Needling Frog is kind of good. Maybe I'll keep a Needle in. And I'll take out... It's going to be really hard for us no matter what. We're just not a very powerful deck in compare in general. Maybe we take out Karn. Lavinia was pretty bad for us. I guess we had a Caracas in our deck. Let's try this. Hopefully we'll have a more explosive start. Maybe on the play, just play Void Mirror. It's not like our opponent has a bunch of Moxen in their deck. They probably only have 3 in a Lotus. Maybe they have Baubles. And then obviously they have 7 forces. And so we can definitely play turn 1 Void Mirror to turn off forces. But is that really better than the other options here? Obviously it's hard for us sometimes to play through a Void Mirror. Okay. Let's try this. Don't know if this makes the most sense though. It's tough because I feel like our combo element is not. Yeah, maybe on the play I definitely should have kept. I mean, this is pretty good. Swords to Plowshares is super good against our deck though. Let's say. All right, we're gonna jam turn 1 Trinisphere and then turn 2 Masticore and see where that takes us. Obviously, we have 2 of the card. Definitely never want to draw this card. That's very much a toolbox card. Hoping my opponent doesn't have a mental misstep there, but I'd like to get that down before resolving Trinisphere, so. All right, got a force? No force. All right, so we at least have Trinisphere to our opponent. That's a good way to win a game, for sure. See if they have 3 lands here. Okay. Do I want to deploy the Ancient Tomb? I think I'm going to hold it for now. All right, that's a wasteland. Let's get rid of this Dusk Rose Reliquary. An expedition map is super strong. So I can wasteland this and play a map, and then I can tutor for a strip mine. That's really good. All right, well, got the turn 1 Trinisphere. So yeah, here I think I would board out the Void Mirror. So maybe just on the play, I would board in the Void Mirror, and that's how I would do it. I don't know what I'd board out for that. Maybe you like cut the removal spells when you're on the play. Could see that. That Masticore's killing him 4 turns, so probably kills them before they even hit 3 mana, especially with double a Wasteland into a strip line. We can just pitch our card every turn. So Trinisphere gets one again. Another opening hand with Dust Rose and Portable Hole. Portable Hole is okay to have an opening hand, but Dust Rose is extremely bad. I don't think I'm allowed to mulligan this, though, with 5 starting mana and a Wasteland. I think this is more than acceptable. Or I guess it's just acceptable. I wouldn't say more than acceptable. I certainly don't want to accept this, but... Oh, I didn't even notice the little banner slides are small again. Hold on, I fix it. I fix it. I must have updated it, and it I thought they were all the same size, so I don't know why they would do that, but oh, too funny. Well, lots of things to bait YouTube commenters in here. Cages, Mystic Forges, Needles on Saga, little banners. Okay, Urza's Saga. And a Pearl on color. And a Jet on color. Wow, that's pretty lucky. By Lurrus, I assume. Jeez, okay. Certainly bad for me. I have to wasteland this right away. I guess the question is, like, do I play a clown car for 3 mana? Seems not great. Let's try going for 5. Could get null rotted. I guess it's unlikely we get null rotted considering they have double Mox in start here. Probably just get Lurrus. The Lurrus isn't doing too much right now, so not the end of the world. Frog. All right, Frog we have a straight up answer to in Portable Hole if we find white mana, though. I think this deck might be a little short on white mana sources. I think it might be a lot short on white mana sources. That is something we thought about. All right, 3 counters and 2 robots. Not great. Looks like they have swords. Sure, looks like they have swords. Yeah, I think they're thinking about swordging a token so that I can't stand up. Yeah, our white mana sources might be a little rough. Little bit rough. If they're willing to throw a bunch of cards into this clown car, I think that's acceptable. You need to throw 2 cards in. It's like getting it forced. Oh, 3 cards, I guess, because it's a 1/1 to start. But I got swords. Doesn't mean I get a hit. Yeah, this looks really bad. I mean, if I get a Tezzeret, it's a lot better. Yeah. I don't know. Should I have mulliganed? It's like so hard to pass up 5 opening mana. I just like had to stop my turn and wasteland the saga. The double opening Moxen is pretty brutal too. Wouldn't be too bad. Oh, that's fine. I don't care about that very much. I guess I do care if I draw like Pearl. Wastelands. Yeah. I think I'm in trouble here. Because I guess I can't play a new 2 spells off of Tezzeret either. Oh, I guess I can get a creature, so. Could go get a Masticore or a Stonecoil Serpent would be pretty good. Stonecoil Serpent is good against Frog, but it's not very good against Wasteland and Push. Chose not to play Lurrus. Clown car. Alright, well. I don't think I'm playing around Spell Pierce at this point. How does a 7x7 clown car make you feel, opponent? I got replicate consigned. Okay. Yup. Nothing I'm doing about that. Though that wouldn't counter my portable hole, funny enough. Ancestral. They can play Land Frog, Land Lurrus. Jump a frog, attack. Sad. Yeah, I don't know how you want to fit more white sources in this deck, but you probably need to. It's not like we have a ton of white cards. We only have a few. But they are important. I kind of count Tezzeret as a white card, white mana source, which maybe I'm not allowed to do. So far, Clown Car not getting the job done. Crucible of Worlds. Well, don't think a Wasteland Lock is doing it against Mox Island, sadly. Though it would have been pretty good against some hands, for sure. Though they probably had a forest and they just chose not to use it. Oh, all Moxes, all 3 Moxen. That's not good. Strip mine. Jump a frog, I assume. Oh, no, let me block. Blocking is fine. Pretty dead. I don't even know what gets me out of it. Because they almost certainly have multiple pieces of counter magic. Not enough action in this hand with the 2 white cards. I guess I just had to be a mulligan. Oh, there's the Caracas, so... Let's Wasteland this. Wasteland a Tomb. And then... Oh, I almost accidentally clicked the thing when it got resized. Oh, I can actually use my mana, my Duskrow's Reliquary to sack my mana crypt. It's pretty sick. A mental misstep they kept in. Wow. It's quite brave of them. I guess I'm dead. Okay. Brutal. Actually, we gotta win. Trinisphere. Alright, let's give it another shot. One likes to tinker, though. Could be challenging. This is a pretty good anti-tinker hand. I think we go lead with Wasteland Bauble, because we're a little bit hampered by our Trinisphere here if we were to lead Mana Crypt Trinisphere. And this turn, we can go, you know, Wasteland, Mana Vault, Lodestone. Lodestone, not exactly a combination with Bauble either. Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb, Monolith. All right, looks like we're going to have to do Null Rods, maybe. Hopefully this isn't too bad for us. Like a Fleshraker would be really bad for us here. If my opponent has turn 1 Fleshraker through a Vexing Bauble, that is quite unfortunate. It's just like really hard for me to play a Trinisphere when I don't have the mana to support playing a Trinisphere. So if this is Jewel, we want our Bauble to be in play when we Null Rod. If it's Raker, we'll probably want to crack our Bauble and then deploy Null Rod. What? Okay, they activated their Tezzeret and deployed a Trinisphere. Great. I guess I die. Vexing Bauble sucks. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, that means my opponent just gets to completely destroy this game because I cannot play any of my spells. I probably need to Wasteland and hope to hit an Ancient Tomb so I can play a Null Rod. Oh, I can crack my Bauble at least. Yeah, they still get to make mana this turn, though. Oh, they are Jewel. Or at least some kind of blue version. Play through my Vexing Bauble. I guess we're lagging. Is that what's happening here? It does seem that way. All right. I mean, if I can find an ancient tomb or a workshop and deploy a null rod, I do think I'm still winning from this spot. Nope. Man, this lag is really bad. It's not good. I think I'm just dead here. Unfortunately, my turn 1 Vexing Bauble ended up being incorrect. If I had gone turn 1 Null Rod, it might have been a lot better. Oh, another no play from the opponent. I do think there's still some power in being able to maybe play a land and play Null Rod. The question is... Is we another Monolith? Another Lotus? Oh, they got it up so that the Tezzeret can ultimate. Smart. All right, now I think we're dead because the Tezzeret will ultimate if we Null Rod. I immediately drew the thing that matters. That's brutal. I can't search up Needle for Tez, though. Can I win this game if I play a Null Rod is the problem. Probably not. So I guess what we need to do is try to win. How do I do that? Maybe they have Hardcast Force still as one of their last cards as well. If my opponent wants to ulti Tez and attack Tez, I think that's acceptable. I'm just going to leave him. I don't feel like tutoring helps right now. If my opponent doesn't ulti Tez, then I can tutor a Needle on Tez. I mean, all of this is still too weak, probably. If my opponent has, like, PO in their deck and just cast end of turn PO here, I die. Because it does look like it's just Jewel. Like, obviously, I'd like to play Null Rod. I just don't think I can win the game if I play a Null Rod and my opponent ultis Tez. I just don't think I win fast enough for that to happen. I mean, if they have a PO, they have a PO. Okay, all right. I'll just concede to that. I can't imagine winning from that spot. So my opponent's on Jewel. I do want turn 1 Void Mirror. Do I want Disruptor Flute? Stone Brain. I don't think Stone Brain is good enough. Don't think Stone Brain is good enough. Because what am I hitting? I could hit Jewels. I could hit Time Vault. Doesn't seem like it. And then I don't think... I guess this would be good on the 1 ring. So I probably do want Disruptor Flute. I think I think Stone Brain is a little too low. But this is definitely the matchup we do want Null Rod. Cage is bad. Reliquary doesn't hit enough. Don't think you want Trinisphere, but you do want Chalice and Void Mirror. So let's try... This clown card can go out. Oh, maybe having a single threat is fine. Let's try this. Okay. Obviously you want turn 1 Void Mirror or something similar. Turn 1 Bauble. Obviously turn 1 Bauble didn't do anything in that game, but I don't think that's true all of the time. Okay, here we go. Turn 1 Null Rod or Void Mirror. Definitely Void Mirror. Wasteland Plains Expedition map. I think we just put the Expedition map away. Yeah, I think I go Workshop Void Mirror. All right, so that means my opponent can't play Moxen right now. Can't play anything until they play like an island to start playing spells. we can go Plains Null Rod. Okay. If they play a non-basic island, okay, they're gonna go for a Saga game plan. That makes a lot of sense. Have the Wasteland to cover it though. They might concede after that. We'll see. Yeah. All right. Classic Jewel. They don't like people stopping them. On the draw, I'm going to take the Chalice back out. And the Bauble, I'm going to keep the Bauble. And then I guess at this point it just has to be Stonebrain, because what else am I doing? I don't think Tanglewire is particularly good in this matchup either. The matchup is probably fairly bad because I don't have Mindbreak Traps in my deck. I'm choosing to do other things. But having access to being on the play with Void Mirror and Nora does seem good. I also have pretty good answers to like turn 1 Ring. I have a lot of answers to turn 1 Ring. So as long as it's not like turn 1 Jewel Kill, should be okay. This is a classic triple Oswald Fiddlebender hand with the ability to play none of my magic cards and the classic clown car in the opener. All right, yeah, this toolbox, I'm drawing too many tools. I would like to draw less tools and more boxes. Is that how it works? This is a Void Mirror on the draw. Significantly worse. And no Ring answer. I think this is actually a mulligan because it's not a lot of mana. I'm not deploying this on the play, so it's not that good. This is already kind of a mulligan, and I have no answer to a turn 1 Ring, which is something I want to be able to do. I'll mulligan that. This is a much better hand. Let's get rid of this Crucible for now, and oh, look, this Lowstone Golem's obviously horrible as well. At least I have a card that does something. I have a lot of bad cards in this matchup. I probably have to rethink some of the boarding. Is it turn 1 Ring? Okay, turn 1 Ring. So they get to draw 1 card off this ring, but if they don't have a force, then we get to just deploy the flute. It looks like they're not F6. I don't know why I used Ancient Tomb there. Maybe because I want to have more mana next turn. Right, if you have a force, yeah, just turn 1 Ring with force backup. Okay, classic. This is what makes Jewel. They do have the ability to use force, and now I guess we're just dead. But I definitely had disciplined mulliganing here. I did the right things. It's just not going to work out unless I guess I draw maybe a Null Rod off the top. If they play a Tezzeret, it's pretty bad still. Another new ring, new draw. Another draw. Yeah, it's going to have to be another way to stop a ring on the top. Null Rod, Needle, Flute. A Tezzeret searches for a Needle, so a Tezzeret is also extremely good. So I have lots of good hits here. This could be a key. Oh, Bobble. Yeah, I have good hits, actually. I think I have good hits to win this game still. Has to be this turn, though. Bobble of my own. That is probably not going to do it. So I will cycle it to a Fiddlebender. All right, well. Is an answer. It's just a turn later. I could also Fiddlebend a Tanglewire. Does that do anything? Not really. I don't know if we're getting a turn, considering how many cards my opponent has drawn from this spot. Key. I mean, if we can get a 1-drop and Fiddlebend into a Null Rod, I still think we have chances. Which is crazy. It's really cool. Tezzeret. I guess Tezzeret could maybe get a Needle and turn off Fiddlebender, or I could just untap the ring and draw 4. Yeah, I guess that works too. It's surprising to me that people can't seem to fit more than 2 Tezzerets into their Jewel list. It feels like it'd be so strong. 9 cards in my opponent's hand. The Fiddlebender is not gone. So I can at least get a Needle on the ring. They pitched Coveted Jewel and PO. It's not a good sign. I'm going to need a 1-drop to resolve and get a Null Rod. Disruptor Flute. Three drops are just Crucible, Tanglewire, Trinisphere. And then 1 drops are just really Needle. All right, I will play a Disruptor Flute. That resolved. All right, I will name Tezzeret Cruel Captain. And then I will take this needle jet and turn it into a needle, naming the One Ring. It's about all I can really do from here, and then I'm gonna wasteland the Ancient Tomb so that it's harder for them to PO, but they can still PO, so it doesn't actually help. If I hit a mana next turn, I could play the Tanglewire and turn it into a Forge and try to go off, maybe. I at least turned off their 2 best permanents. I just don't think it matters is the problem. Yeah. So they can just PO everything back. Which I assume they have, considering they pitched PO. I didn't really have a better option here, though. What I can do is if I live a turn, I can change this needle back into a Null Rod. So we have that. I just don't think we're living a turn is the problem. Considering my opponent also pitched a Jewel. Yeah, this wasn't bad though. It felt actually fairly winnable. I think we need to rep 1 turn earlier. Because they can sink now. It's probably close to deterministic. I'll concede another PO or something. I'll just time vault key. Okay, yeah, they got rid of the One Ring. Okay, we've been vanquished. All right, let's try this again. Surely, at some point, our Force of Will-less deck will be able to win. I believe. I have once again drawn the Dusk-Rose Reliquary. I would like to not draw the Dusk-Rose Reliquary if possible, but I do think this hand's a keep with turn 1 Saga Bauble into Constructs. This has been haunting me this theoretically, the idea, chat, is that I can tutor for this off of a Mox from Oswald, not having to pay the additional cost of casting it, and I can exile any artifact or creature, not just the portable hole targets. That being said, we have not ever been able to do that. We did activate an Oswald last round, which is more than I can say of any other game I played with this deck, so... Vexing Bauble. Resolvers, okay? No Lurrus. Vexing Bauble resolved. I think in general that's pretty good, except for that game where we died on turn 1 after we did that. Got Wastelanded. Let's get an Inventor's Fair going here. Let's strip mine. Okay, that's why I held my Ancient Tomb. Glad I didn't play a Plains. That would have been bad. Another Oswald. Not ideal. Not ideal. Maybe they're out of Wastelands and we draw another Ancient Tomb and deploy a Karn. Nope, they have 3 Wastelands. Okay, my bad. I shouldn't have tried to play Magic. That's my fault. I was silly for thinking that I could play the game with 3 lands in my opening hand. Sorry, my bad. Wasteland is fun. What a good time. All right, AI Share Workshop now. Oh, Tropical Island. Deathrite Shaman. Oh, God. I think I'm dead. Oh, there's a basic Plains. That's pretty good. I could destroy this Deathrite Shaman to play Dusk-Rose Reliquary. It doesn't seem particularly good. Though, if my opponent does play a oof, I do have to crack this bomb. Probably. Triple Wasteland bug opener, huh? Sure. I guess that's pretty good. Guess that's pretty good. Looks pretty doomed. Looks pretty doomed, I would say. I would say this is it's looking pretty doomed. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I'm gonna crack this because I need to hit land drops. I was a fool. I thought 3 land hand would be pretty reasonable, you know? That's on me. I should have known. I think if I go workshop tangle wire, just touch on the frog for a turn at least. They'll stop down me for a whole turn too. So maybe this sucks. Gonna eat. So they're just eating, right? What is this? Upkeep dig through time? I guess that's not the worst thing that's ever happened. It did take out all these cards from their yard, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad for me. I will say it's not good. It is definitely bad for me. Yes, not good. My opponent is gonna have a bajillion card hand here. The good news is I cannot get strip mined. I can only get third wastelanded. Probe. Yeah. Still all the stuff. 9 cards in my opponent's hand. I just want to concede and go to the next game, but I have to do it for the chat. I have to show them that perseverance and not registering blue can win games, you know? That kind of thing. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. So the Tangle Wire didn't really do anything. Noted. So instead, I'm going to tap my whole board down next turn and phase out a frog and be sad. Okay, it's not good. That is not good. I won't quit, though. We could totally still win this game. All I did was Ancestral and Wasteland 3 of our lands. It's winnable, winnable. Okay, yeah. Not bad. Let's phase out this frog to play a Soul Ring. All right, we're building. We're building something real here. We're not. We're getting spell pierced. We're no longer building something real here. Okay, my bad. I shouldn't have assumed. We can sack the Tangle Wire to the Duskro's Reliquary. That's a thing we can do. Uh-oh. At least I didn't get wastelanded again. Can we think about the upsides here? The positives? We are probably never resolving another spell. But think about the upside. I think I'm supposed to keep the workshop open for when we draw a nice 3-drop artifact, maybe. Okay, all right, that'll help us resolve spells. I like that. Void Mirror. I gotta counter that, maybe. It's not bad. That is exactly the plan. All right, got the Force out of my opponent's hand. Got the Treasure Cruise out of my opponent's hand. Now I can play the Duskro's Reliquary, sacking the Tangle Wire. Okay, a Resolver. Get that frog underneath there. I think we're making progress. Now, my opponent only has 6 cards in hand and more mana than us. So it's close. I think we can do it. Never mind. My bad. I thought we could do it. I don't know if my deck can ever be an Oko. Like I can Tezzeret for a Needle, I guess. Bug seems like a matchup where I don't want to play the game. I don't know if we're ever beating a bug deck. But I'll give it a try. I'll do my best. This is another spot where I'm not 100% sure if we're supposed to keep. I just feel like we have to take the Void Mirrors out or we're never going to get enough cards out of our deck. It does seem challenging, though. I don't really like boarding in more needle effects because they have so many ways to kill the needle. It's not like you're actually stopping it most of the time. Let's take out this Dusk. Well, yeah, let's just take out the Dusk Reliquary, and we'll take out all these Void Mirrors and conditional things and bring in a bunch of good cards. Like good cards in quotation marks, for sure. This has been not a great outing. I haven't played any turn 1 Tezzerets, though. I do think I've been running a little on the cold side, but I also think our deck is not very good. Yup. Smokestack and Argentum Masticore don't exactly feel like combination gaming here. Doesn't look promising. In fact, this one looks like a match where I probably am not going to get a single game. But we'll see. You never know. Maybe I get triple wastelanded again. All right, got my force on the bobble pitching Energy Flux. Energy Flux seems like another card I am not remotely beating, but I got wastelanded. Yep. Uh-huh. Second wasteland? Second wasteland. Yay. Yay. All right, and I lost the game. I kept 3 mana sources. I got wastelanded, and then I lost. Oof. Okay, cool. I'm dead. That was an awful experience. Okay, it's okay. Don't worry, chat. I will recover. We'll have a broken opening hand. Ooh. Okay, all right, okay. Let's give it a shot. Certainly a hand that I'm interested in. Right, okay. I got mana, I got colors. My opponent can't cast spells, hopefully. What do you got from me? Oh, bizarre. I've turned off their entire ability to cast spells. That's good. Now I just need to find a way to win before I die. Okay, 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 okay. I think we might win a game. Don't think this time Tangle Wire is going to do much of anything until my opponent, like, dredges in some prized amalgams or something. Okay, creeping chill. No dredgers at the moment, though. Not bad. I do need to find, like, a Tezzeret. Tezzeret would win the game on the spot. Key, Oswald are probably winning. Oh, the creeping chill brought in 2 ghouls. Okay. Another void mirror. Well, I will tempo these ghouls with a nice tangle wire. They should activate Bazaar in response. See if they figure that one out. Yep, they got it. No problem. Another chill. Icarid next turn. Amalgam next turn off the Icarid. Ghouls get tapped. I have time. I can do it. I can still win this game. But Dredge does not need to cast any spells to win the game. So, oh, triple amalgam. Okay, I think I have 1 turn. No, there was a 3rd ghoul. It's gonna bring all the amalgams back. Okay, I have 1 draw step. I have 1 draw step. I died anyways. Ah, I died anyways. This only taps down 3, so I take 12. Okay, so I don't die if they don't hit any more chills. Okay, so I have another draw step. I have another draw step. I have another draw step. Well, they do have 1 more chill in their deck. And a Dredge 5 for turn. Okay, it's still winnable. It's still winnable. I have so many hits. So many hits. They hit triple Narcomoeba. Okay, I have 1 draw step. 1 draw step. I can still win. My opponent casts 0 spells. Surely I won't lose the game. Key. Tezzeret. Oswald doesn't do it anymore. Forge. I guess maybe there aren't that many draws. Just like Key and Tezzeret. Right. Surely I'll top deck a piece of action. Alright, well, my opponent cast 0 spells and I lost the game. I have main deck Grafdigger's Cage, by the way, and I lost to Dredge. Well, the good news is I have more magic cards I can bring in. 6 more magic cards. Incredible. All of these things turn off all their stuff on turn 1. Tango Wire is pretty bad. Might have to keep this in for a hollow one. Null Rod is really bad. Chalice is really bad. So I guess a stone coil. Clown Car might be better. Okay, I mean I have a million great turn 1 plays. I have 5 wastelands, strip mine. I have cages and crypts, and I can't build a better deck against Dredge, so hopefully everything comes through here. I'm gonna go with, I don't want to get Vigored, so I think I'm gonna go with Ancient Tomb Cage. Pass. Force. Alright, so there's no reason to play a Crypt, so I guess I'll play the Sapphire to play around Mindbreak Trap and pass. Okay. Bazaar, activate. Icarid, Chill, Imp, Hollow One. Obviously, this played into Grief, but on the draw, should they have Grief in? Don't know. All right, I'm going to Wasteland their... Oh, I should have played this first, in case they had Noxious Revival. Opponent wants to eat their imp. They're allowed to eat their imp. They're going to eat their imp. Oh. That was not what I expected. They just have another... They're just going to try to use the hollow one. It's not going to go very well against this Urza Saga. Unless they have an answer to that. All right, well. Pretty close to winning here. I think I will chump block just because being at a little bit of higher life total here does help. And my next one will definitely be high enough, so I think this just like prevents me from like getting super chilled or Icarated in a future spot. Okay. So I get to make a 4/4 and then I get to get a Vexing Bauble. And that will stop my opponent from being able to do anything. They'll trade, and then I don't know what their plan is. We do still have a Tormod's Grave. I mean, maybe I just draw 5 million lands and die. Certainly possible. Certainly they trade. They can't cast anything, so they're going to have to just natural dredge. We just need to draw any spell that does anything. That is not a spell that does anything, so the game continues. That's not a spell that does anything. They get to pitch to hand size next. If I lose this game, I'll be so sad. I could have not blocked for sure. They're just planning to eat with Icarid, so that I'll have to use this Crucible. Okay, so I can play a Crucible of Worlds and bring back Urza's Saga. Cool, I have a Vexing Bauble, so I can't get forced. I'm not going to eat on this Icarid. I will go to 4 here. Just part of the reason why maybe taking an earlier hit makes sense. Because I'll just get a construct next and I'll be fine. Also, they forced, which means they can't pitch to hand size, which is really bad for them. Definitely they definitely were not supposed to force. So. Obviously, I've drawn a lot of lands. This just lets me have F6 value, basically. Okay. I was a little too close for comfort there, but got there. This has to be by far our best matchup in all of Vintage. If there is a single matchup this deck is favored against, it's got to be Dredge. We have so much. But now we're on the draw against Dredge. No ley lines, so they get to do activates, griefs and stuff. We'll see what happens. Losing game 1 after we made it so our opponent couldn't play any spells the whole game was not part of the plan. This has to be a keep. It's not too bad if we get griefed here. 4 cards left after activate. No hollow one, no grief. Time Vault. So I'm going to go Emerald, Crypt, Academy, Jet. I don't think I want to play into Mindbreak Trap. Time Vault. I have Time Vault resolves. I have Fair. All right, I can play Forge. Crucible. I don't think I need a Crucible here. Voidmere. All right, well, if I can, I should not have 6. I should just go naturally. If I can make it to this Voidmere, turn off all their spells, should be good. All right. This wasn't even one of our best hands against Dredge. It was only okay. Like, we can have a hand that has, like, a thing to turn off their forces, 2 hate pieces, and a wasteland. All right, they hit a hollow one. It's certainly good. Okay, let's activate Forge. Cage. Cage will turn off Forge. Don't know if that matters, though. I can just Inventor's Fair it away. They're going to Noxious Bazaar. I think that's just fine. I don't think I'm gonna let this cage go. I think I'm just gonna go tutor. And I'll tutor. I could get an exact answer for Hollow One right now. I can just get a needle. So I just Needle Bazaar. So now they can't play any spells. Everything is good. Everything's locked down. I'm just going to hit their graveyard. And they're going to have to draw Bazaar. And then I just have to beat a Hollow One, which I immediately beat with Tezzeret. Okay, cool. Yep. All right, that is exactly what I'm trying to do with this deck. Let's go. Love that for me. Also, I have infinite colored mana to play with this Void Mirror here. All right, game over. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Whoops. Oops. I could just keep going. I meant to hit the time vault, obviously, but it's not going to change anything here. I could misclick a couple turns and I'll still win. Out of curiosity, could we at least play a Fiddlebender this turn? Got there. All right, that's got to be the only good matchup we have in all of Vintage, so. All right, last round. That's not very good. That looks better. Does not actually cast Tezzeret right away, but... I think I'm gonna just get rid of the Tangle and play around Wasteland by keeping second Workshop. All right, no, that actually helps me play around Wasteland, but all right, I got turn 1 Void Mirror at least. Island. Okay, and a Soul Ring. All right, so this Void Mirror. Oh, we're close. We just need to be able to cast this Tezzeret and we win. Think we're gonna get there? Workshop here, worse than Ancient Tomb. I hate to see it. Solarian. It's big mana. Tinker not very good here. Stock up's not bad. Whoa! I just got my Void Mirror bounced. Interesting. Well, easy replay for me here still. Immediate another Void Mirror. Force. I always got a backup Void Mirror. I'm still 1 mana per thing away from Vault Keying. Are they gonna tinker? Are they gonna tinker for a Time Vault? And a Tezzeret and win? Wow. That's crazy. That would have done it. I was 1 turn away. I'm getting my butt kicked. It's not even close. I think I'm just gonna run it back same 75 here though. Well, Cage. Yeah, they're probably a Yogg-Will deck. Let's just run it back. All right. Come on, game. Come on, game. I swear, it's not so bad. This Oswald's have looked awful. I do think in general, turn 1 Void Mirror is pretty good against Tinker stuff that's going on. And then we do have Talon Gates into Oswald this time. Don't have a lot of artifacts to search with, though. No Moxen in our opener there. Chained again. Chain, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been doing a good job of void mirroring my opponent. They just had their 1 of chain twice, and then they Tinker Citadel killed me. Ah, Kefka's Tower. Okay. Oh, wait. If I resolve void mirror, it's still okay. Surely. Surely I brick them out here. No, they had force in their hand. Force pitching force. Well, guess we'll name Sensei's top. Maybe they'll brick on lands again here. Damn, I keep deploying the Void Mirror and it's actively good. It's just I'm just getting beaten. Hercules. Hercules is pretty good against my deck. Hercules is very good against my deck. I tried, you know, chat. I tried. I really don't think this deck is that bad, but it has been a bad league, I must say. Okay. Lodestone Golem. What gives me the highest chance of winning? Oswald could technically win on the next turn by playing Needle, turning it into a Time Vault, and getting Key off of the Saga. It's probably that. So what I'll do is I'll play an Oswald, and I'll play a Needle on Tezzeret. No, on Time Vault. Another force. Okay, now I actually can't win with this Oswald, so that's bad. That's very bad. That is very bad. Sewers. I mean, all I need is one Tezzeret, one tutor. Pio. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I gave it the old college try. I definitely seen spots where it would make sense for Oswald to be good here, but we just have not really had the mana to do so. I'm trying to get to where am I? How on my list? How on my list? Yeah. Stock up. Can't imagine that opponent can brick from this spot. All they need is another PO too. That works as well. Chain of Vapor. Solid card. Probably slightly underplayed still. I think it's so good in Lurrus PO. It's like a little more sus in Tinker PO. Because you have like Citadel that I can bounce by sacking. But it doesn't come up that much, so. I don't know what are we demonicking for? Anything? Everything? Anything? 1, 2, 3. I mean, you have enough to tinker Tezzeret and Key. I don't know what we're tutoring for. Any choice wins. Tezzeret off the top. All right, I will concede. Yeah, so this deck didn't really work. I think actually conceptually it kind of worked. The idea behind it and deploying this and then doing a follow-up thing, I think that idea in my head did work. And I felt like it had opportunities to work throughout the league, but obviously we didn't really reach that goal. I would say our opening hands weren't the strongest. We did have some really nice ones towards the end, and we did beat Dredge, who I would assume that our deck is actually good against. But I can't say that the Void Mirror Tangle Wire was enough to stop opponents. And we never really got Oswald going. It probably do need some more white sources in the deck for the Oswald. And maybe you're like better off just not even playing Oswald at all. Oswald is kind of the glue that's supposed to tie it together. Like you lock your opponent down, and then you tutor for your kill. Or you use your Oswald to tutor for the thing that locks your opponent down the most. Didn't really work out here, but I could still see something in this vein working. If you have any ideas, let me know. Or else, new vintage content on the YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.